Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm Alexis, a blind author, content creator, and freelancer. If you're interested in getting your manuscript critiqued, you can find me on Fiverr, which will be linked in the description, or email me, also in the description. So today, I am reviewing The Bodyguard, finally. Also, again, a bit of a lie here. This is one of the videos I was supposed to release probably sometime last year. I am 25. I have already passed 24, but I thought either way, this might be, it was fun. And I'm kind of glad I'm releasing this as well. I think I'm releasing this, like the School for Good Mothers, under the best circumstances, because I released a very harsh, a topic with a video with, difficult subject matter, and now I'm releasing something very light, so I'm glad I'm giving you a good book. Like I said in that video, I was able to keep that promise, so I am glad I'm giving you a good book this year, a really light and kind book. And hey, for the romance girlies out there, this is also great because that means I'm giving you a romance review, and I am a romance girly and I enjoy it. So I'm glad I'm giving you a good romance review. So I don't have any updates for you because I am essentially trying to batch edit a bunch of videos so that I can then upload them, a bunch of videos and some of the shorts I have. So I'm just trying to kind of like batch this stuff, do some batch editing. So I do not have any updates. So this is a quick intro. I will now be sending you back to Past Me. But before that, some housekeeping. If you enjoy my content and would like to support my channel, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you're aware when I release videos like this. If you want to, get caught up with all my reviews. If you would like to see my writing, subscribe to my blog at my website, linked in the description. If you would like to support my work financially, you can buy my books. I have a literary fantasy novelette and a poetry collection out right now, and I'm working on the sequel to I'm working on a novella right now, which will be the sequel to the literary fantasy novelette, Daughter of Death. So I am currently working on that sequel. But if you are interested in in getting that, yeah, they're available there. My books are linked in the description, and you can also buy them in my Ko-fi shop. My Ko-fi is linked in the description, or give me a one-off donation. I very much appreciate all your time watching this at the very least, and let me know your thoughts at the end in the comments. So without further ado, though, take it away, Past Me, and enjoy your regularly scheduled program. So before we begin this review, I would like to give a content warning for loss of a parent as well as loss of a sibling, just so that you know that these things are up in this book. So, but with that, here we are with my review on this. So The Bodyguard. I heard about The Bodyguard through a vlog from Cindy. I'll link her channel below, and that they had read it, and based on one specific thing she said, just one trope, I picked it up. I barely looked at the synopsis. I kind of knew what it was because told us in the video what it's about. But based on one thing, I picked it up, and I will tell you all about it. But first, let's read the synopsis. She's got his back. Hannah Brooks looks more like a kindergarten teacher than somebody who could kill you with a wine bottle opener or a ballpoint pen or a dinner napkin. But the truth is, she's an executive protection agent, aka, quote, bodyguard, and she just got hired to protect superstar actor Jack Stapleton from his middle-aged corgi breeding stalker. He's got her heart. Jack Stapleton's household name. Wait, what? Jack Stapleton's a household name captured by paparazzi on beaches the world over. Okay. On beaches the world over, famous for, among other things, rising out of the waves in all manner of cringy board shorts and glistening like a Roman deity. Okay then. But a few years back, in the wake of a family tragedy, he dropped from the public eye and went off the grid. They've got a secret. When Jack's mom gets sick, he comes home to the family's Texas ranch to help out. Only one catch: he doesn't want his family to know about his stalker or the bodyguard thing. And so Hannah, against her will and her better judgment, finds herself pretending to be Jack's girlfriend as a cover, even though her ex, like a jerk, says no one will believe it. What could possibly go wrong? Hannah hardly uh, Hannah hardly believes it herself, but the more time she spends with Jack, the more real it all starts to seem. And there lies the heartbreak, because it's easy for Hannah to protect Jack, but protecting her own long neglected heart, that's the hardest thing she's ever done. So, we got a couple tropes we got one trope I love. I love fake dating. Fake dating is a great trope for a romance. It's really, really fun, right? So that's great. So let's start though with the prose. So the prose is really good. It's really easy and really accessible, but also it's just like super, it's accessible and easy to read, but also it kind of makes it easy for you as a reader to fly through the book, because it reads in a way, the way it's written makes it really easy to just fly through it. It's not super complicated. I spent one day reading this book. I believe I read the entire book and finished it during in like 2 days. I think I read part of it one day, and then the next day I finished the rest of it. So I can tell you that I put it at 2.5, and I was just like, yep, I'm done. I finished that very day. It's that quick. Like, you can read it. So the story itself is told only in Hannah's point of view. Now, the pitfall of limited point of views in a story is simply the fact that you're stuck in one character's head, and you only get to see their point of view, and you don't get to see everybody else's. But also, characters, other characters that aren't the main character, don't really feel like they go through an arc. And that, I think, is where the problem lies, and why I personally like to write more point of views in my stories sometimes, and why I usually write like a third person indirect kind of thing, or like unlimited third person ish, something like that. That's the main pitfall of this. So it doesn't, and that is the case here. I don't really feel like I know Jack. I don't really feel like he goes through an arc. So I don't feel any of that, which is why I love romances with dual point of views. I will say, however, that while it doesn't feel like that sometimes, there are stories that can actually pull this off really well, where you have one point of view only, and you get in, but you still get to see the other characters, and they feel like they go through an arc. There are stories that can pull it off. I'm just saying the big pitfall sometimes. Good stories that can pull something like this off is Kiss Her Once for Me by Ashley Cochran. I think it's Ashley. Is it Ashley Cochran? Oh, Allison Cochran. Casey McQuiston's book tends to do a really good job at that, I believe. Those are the main ones. Christine Riccio also does really good with that. When you don't have the other love interest point of view, it's done well. It can be done well. It's just that sometimes it just doesn't have that, and especially in I feel like especially this is especially the case for me, that what I've seen anyway and what I've read in a category romance, because a category romance is a tightly woven story. It's a more compressed story. So what happens is that you have less words and less pages to dedicate to all your characters. So instead, they're there, but it feels very. Sometimes it just feels kind of like the author is moving characters around like little chess pieces in order to meet the plot's demands, and characters should not feel that way, in my opinion. They really shouldn't. So that is like one of the main issues I had. This is definitely a category romance, and it feels, and you can kind of tell by the pacing and generally the feeling. Another thing to be said about the writing is that it is written in first person retrospective, which I found really interesting. I haven't seen that in a category romance where you're kind of looking back at the story. I really liked it. I thought that was really interesting. Now, let's talk about tropes, because tropes are everything in romance. You can use a trope to market a romance to readers, I think. And for me, if I find a trope I like, I will most likely give it a shot. Even if it's bad, I will likely give it a shot. Now, there are two tropes here that are interesting. First of all, it's fake dating. I love fake dating as a trope. It's one of my favorites. Also, I want to give a disclaimer. Tropes aren't bad. Tropes are actually really fun and really good. They're tools. So it's all about the execution. No trope is really bad. So fake dating is a trope I love. It's a trope I enjoy. It's one of my favorites. Maybe I'll make a top list of tropes I like, and tell you why. I don't know. Those are some of my favorite tropes. That's one of my favorite tropes. And then the other one involves me giving you a spoiler. So a spoiler in 3, 2, 1, go. So when Hannah goes to meet Jack for the first time to let him know, hey, I'm your bodyguard. He believes she is the cleaning lady at first, and she's like, no, I'm not the cleaning lady, right? Okay, cool. And he's like, and she tells him the bodyguard is like, and he tells her that she doesn't look like one or whatever. And one of the things that he asks is, what are you going to do if someone attacks me and tries to beat me up or whatever? And she's like, it won't happen. The whole point is to anticipate threats and get rid of them before anyone is harmed. So you won't be harmed, don't worry, right? He's like, take me down, basically. And she's like, no. Like, she's like, no thanks, right? She doesn't want to do that. And then he kind of like comes after her, pretends to attack her, and she's like, and she tells him she doesn't want to do this, but he comes after her, pretends to attack her. And so she does take him down. He encourages her to do this. So he takes her down, and he really likes that he's like, okay, great. You're definitely great. I trust you, kind of thing, almost, after she took him down. Now, guys, this trope is awesome. I love a badass female lead, but I love it even more when the male love interest encourages the badassness. I love it when the male interest is like, yes, take me down, punch me, it's great. I like when he encourages, supports, and roots for her, and has no shame about it. He's just like, yep, that's my badass girlfriend. I love this. That is so romantic to me. This trope is everything. It's everything. This trope is everything. It's close to the touch her and I'll kill you trope. Like, I adore this trope. By the way, the second one, touch her and I'll kill you, fiction. I love it in fiction. I don't want to hear it in real life. But seriously, he encourages her. He supports the badassness. What else can I ask for in a good romance? I mean, you should know how much I love this, right? I think some of the books, of my trademark 5-star books, have this trope. Blood and Ash with Poppy and Castile, how he kind of finds it hot that she's wearing a dagger to her thigh, and he purposely makes her mad, and when she punches him and becomes violent, he's like, oh yeah, I'm here for it. Flesh and Fire with Sarah and Niktos. Niktos just loves that she knows how to fight and also kind of finds it hot. And it turns out that's a big thing also in Castillo's family because his dad also finds his mom hot when she's mad. The Sarah J. Maas books too. Like some of my trademark 5-star books have similar tropes. I think this is an obvious thing now. So listen, this trope, I feel like this little trope was written for me. I adore it. I love it. Any other books that has that trope, recommend in the comments. Fire away. I want them. I want it. I want them. I adore this trope, and I will forever love it. So this is an insta love, by the way. This is definitely an insta love romance. It just happens really, really quickly. I don't really love insta love very much. I have a hard time suspending my disbelief. The key for me to love it is that the characters have really, really good chemistry. And they do have chemistry on the page. Jack and Hannah do have chemistry on the page. But for me, it's kind of hard still to suspend my disbelief here because I don't know Jack that well and everything I'm seeing is from Hannah. And I feel like there's a missing piece here. So it's difficult for me to just say, for me to like suspend my disbelief and enjoy the insta love. It's not like the kiss quotient, you know. So it makes it harder for me to go for it. That's my issue right there. So the pacing is really fast. Again, category romance pacing. It happens really, really quickly. I think it happens in like less than a month. And I don't always love the pacing. I really don't. It happens really quickly. I mean, events are built up to pretty well, but it happens really quickly. There are themes here of found family almost. There are themes of family here, and I really like in theme when it comes like the comparison between Hannah's family and Jack's family, and the way that she kind of wanted a family or a mom similar to Jack's mom, and it was really sweet and really interesting. There are themes of grief as well. So again, the content warning I gave in the beginning, loss of a parent and loss of a sibling. Keep that in mind, please. As you read, there's a focus on it, but not as much. The other thing I want to say that because this is a category romance is that the stalker plot doesn't really become a big thing. Honestly, it just doesn't feel great. It's kind of like it's just there to push the characters together, but it doesn't feel so, I don't know, it doesn't feel as fleshed out or super great there. So that's another thing. So the characters. Again, I like Hannah, and on paper, I like Jack. He's really interesting. Again, the trope, love, adore. But I don't feel like I know him. I feel like I need more to know him. And yeah, I feel like I need more. I love the family dynamics though. Connie is amazing. I love her so much, and I just love the family dynamics. They're amazing. The one thing I'll say is that some of this romance reads like a soap opera. I mean, Hannah, I'm gonna do some spoilers now because I want to talk about some of this stuff. And also, here is some dating advice from a single 23, soon to be 24, by the time you're watching this, I will be 24, single person. Okay, here's some dating advice. So, in this story, Hannah starts out in an established relationship. And she thinks everything's great, everything's perfect, but then her boyfriend breaks up with her. Her boyfriend's name is Robbie. He breaks up with her, tells her she doesn't allow herself to be loved or whatever, or let people in, which is true. And she does realize it in the end, but she doesn't realize it in the beginning. So, that's a thing. And then he breaks up with her right after the day after, or like literally right after the funeral. Like right after the funeral. Okay? Then you find out in the assignment with her best friend Taylor, who Hannah was crying to for a month. He slept with Taylor, and Taylor believes that he'll be that he loves her because she like allows herself to be loved or whatever. And Taylor even tells Hannah, you don't allow people in, even though when I'm like your best friend, I'm not really your best friend. I'm your work friend. That is a thing. So that is a recurring thing for Hannah. Then there is that's that. And then throughout the story, he starts being a jerk to her. Things like, do you really think Hannah will be able to protect this guy? Hannah doesn't really look like the girlfriend. Like, come on, who's going to believe that she's the girlfriend or whatever? And you find out he's been doing all this crap, saying all this jerk stuff to apparently try to get back with her. So he's being mean in an attempt to win her back and get back together with her. And I'm like, the fuck? Here's my dating advice, y'all. If you want to get back with someone, here's 2 things. 1, maybe don't sleep with their best friend. And 2, maybe don't be a jerk about it. And this is not for a guy. This is for everybody. Don't insult the person. Oh, and 3, just communicate during your relationship and talk about your needs. And talk about the fact, listen, I'm trying to do, because you can tell that she doesn't really allow certain things. There are certain things that she's just like, she's really into her work, so she doesn't really focus much on her love life. Like, her love is her work throughout most of it, and stuff like that. And you can tell that's a problem in the relationship. But also, communicate. Even if she's not doing it, you can still communicate. You can still say something, and still like communicate and stuff like that. Don't be a jerk about it. Like, and then he just tries to get back with her throughout the entire story, and she's like, I don't want you. Even going as far, I think, as touching on like her insecurities, like, you know, you really think he would date you? Like, he's an actor, blah blah blah. And it's like, it's just one of those things that comes up, and I'm just like, guys, no. That's my dating advice. Don't do anything Robbie did. That's bad. And if you want to have a long-lasting relationship, I feel like you should have some communication. So anyway, overall, this was a fun story. I enjoyed it. I think there were things I would have wanted, but yeah. No, I need I just need a little bit more. But it was a good story. I had a fun time reading it. I read it at the right time. I gave it 3 stars. So, you know, it wasn't bad. It wasn't great. It was just average. It was fine. So 3 stars, and hopefully I will I look forward to reading more of this author. I don't know if this was debut or not, but I do want to read more from this author eventually. So yeah, I'm having a great time. Anyway, I'll see you soon for another video. Let me know your thoughts on The Bodyguard. Also, give me recommendations with the trope I just talked about, where he encourages the fighting and the badassness. Give me Rex. I want that. I want to read that. If it is something related to TV, I would want to watch that too. If it's anime, even better. But give me recommendations of all kinds. I want to know. I want to consume those stories. All right, welcome back. I hope that you enjoyed that review. I can hear myself, and I know I had a lot of fun recording it. It was great. I still, I hold to my opinions on this book. I have no additional thoughts to add. I think it was a good book, and yeah. So next week, there will be a short for a nonfiction book. For The Authority Gap, I'll have like a short. And then after that, I'm ranting about a romance called The Sinner's Secret, which is the second in the Bad Billionaire series. So we're back to, if I remember correctly, I've not listened to it, but I think it was a bad review. But we're still in the romance era, in the romance train, I guess, for a while. But I know that for Bad Billionaires, I have had bad luck. And I have been
avoiding reading the last book I need to read for the series, though I'm really thinking I should just read it, but I've sort of just been avoiding it. So let's see how it goes, but that's going to be for next week. We're still in the romance train. I'm kind of happy. It'll be 2 weeks of straight of romance before we go into a fiction story that also deals with a bit of a difficult subject. But for the most part, it'll be a romance for a while. And we're gonna go into romance, the fiction story that's dealing with a bit of a difficult topic, and then we're back to romance. So we're going to be doing okay. We're going to be okay, you guys. We're going to be okay. Anyway, with that out of the way, if you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing and turning on notifications so you're aware when I post videos. If you would like to see my writing, subscribe to my blog where you can see my chaos of writing, my different types of writing, and all that fun stuff. If you would like to support me financially, please consider buying my books. I have a literary fantasy novelette, Daughter of Death, and I'm working on its sequel novella and hoping to get it out to you by the end of this year or beginning of 2026. I'm taking my time with it because there has been a lot. So, taking my time with it, still editing. I know I'm in the final stages, so I'm hoping to get it out to you then by the end of this year or beginning of next year. If you could also find my poetry collection as well. I'm working on another poetry collection as well, and I don't know when that's coming out yet. If you would like, you could also buy these from my own Ko-fi shop, which are there. The EPUB files are there, so you'll be able to own the books. And also, you can find you can also just give me a one-off donation if you like. You can also find the audiobooks in the stores as well as for free on my other YouTube channel, Writing by Nexus Mottos. So with that out of the way, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. And I will see you in the next video. Until then, consume stories. Bye!